quite interesting because we're taking it from a teenage angle. And yes, in as much as it's women's corner, we'll be talking more about the girl child, but we will not let the boys, just go like that. We'll try to involve them because they're all part of the growth process. And I believe while we're training the female, we should also train the male and not allow them just relax. Okay, we have a guest in the house today, so I'm not going to be going for the tip first before introducing our guest. I'll just introduce my guest. And my guest's name is Habiba Badamosi. She is a teenager mentor and she is a life skill teacher all the way from, this is where they say the drum rolls. Welcome to the show. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Blossom. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
And I know you do justice to this topic because you are a teacher and I'm sure you're handling a lot of teenagers. And we know what it is when you're handling teenagers. A lot of work. And then I'm sure you have a lot of patience, different from the kind of patience I'll have having to deal with.
And I'm learning a lot.
Every day. So trust me, like I said, it's going to be an amazing ride today. But first, before we go into what we have for today, there's another thing that bugs parents or parents to not even see it as a problem is when their children get addicted to the internet. They get addicted to the phones, their laptops, their pods, a tablet, however it comes, the TV. Now, this is one way I think a parent and a child can actually manage the screen time. This is where it is very important for you to know when to stop and when to start. So before we go for the topic we have today, let's quickly go and check the tips to avoid internet addiction brainly, so you don't get too addicted. And of course, like I said, we're talking about dealing with teenagers. That is their character, their confidence, and the change that comes with this age. Amazing. So let's quickly go for this tip. We'll right back to continue the program with Habiba Badamosi, of course, talking about dealing with teenagers from all angles and aspects. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Tips to avoid internet addiction. Acknowledge the problem. Seeing an addiction problem for what it is can be one of the most difficult internet addiction symptoms to overcome. The emotional surges that comes with being online trigger. Consider professional help. Considering professional help means being open to the possibility of seeking assistance from a qualified therapist or other mental health professional who is trained in treating internet addiction. Create a schedule. One of the ways of how to break internet addiction is to create a schedule. Creating a schedule refers to planning and organizing your time in advance so that you can balance your internet use with other activities and responsibilities. Practice mindfulness. Another solution to internet addiction is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means paying attention to the present moment with curiosity and openness without judgment or distraction. Set device-free times. Setting device-free times refers to choosing certain periods of the day or week when you do not use any tech devices such as smartphones, computers, tablets, or televisions. Identify triggers. Identifying triggers means recognizing the situations, emotions, or thoughts that make you want to use the internet excessively or compulsively. Seek support. Seeking support means reaching out to friends, family, support groups, or professionals for help and encouragement in dealing with internet addiction. It involves sharing one's struggle and challenges related to excessive internet use and actively seeking guidance, understanding, and assistance from others during the recovery process. Find alternative activities. To find alternative activities means to engage in other hobbies, interests, or tasks that can provide you with enjoyment, fulfillment, or relaxation without using the internet. Tips to avoid internet addiction.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Women's Corner, and of course, those are the amazing tips that you could have just to avoid the addiction of internet. And of course, that has to do with our brain, and it's something we do not want to venture into. Anyways, let's quickly go start our questions. We still have Habiba in the studio. So my first question is, from your experience, of course, as a teacher and having to do with a lot of children, in your view, how do you think teenagers change over time? Like, what are the core things that inspire their change? Let me use that word, either bad or good. What do you think are the core things that make them just change, and you just find out that but Bola is not like this? What happened? Yeah.
Okay, so like teenage age is still
Exudes from the outside. So how is it possible to do that?
most times as adults again, I think we have this blame. You see, we don't let do these things by themselves. We in this stage, we just think of what we want these students to, what we want these children to do, and we expect them to do it exactly as it is
The
in
same
our
way.
thoughts. You know, and when they don't do those things that way, you feel, oh no, you are doing the wrong thing. Sometimes seek their own, ask them, what is your line of thought? What are you thinking of? And then you maybe add to it, or, you know, advise accordingly. But most times we just, this is what I want you to be. This is how I want you to toe this path, and that is how you're going to do it. You don't leave them to go, you know, the other way around. They
And
might still end up at that destination, you know.
And probably
Most
even
times-
better than how you even thought
Exactly.
it.
And you'll pick up one or two lessons on the way. And that way you're just pushing them, you know, you just want that perfection. You're pushing them. This is your destination, and you must go there, and you must take this route, and don't take any other route. We need to give them options. We need to give them options. Respect their thought process. Respect them. Just tell them you believe in it, and then tell them, it will give them that confidence to just
go
pull through.
try.
Yes.
Okay, well, I think it's very important that you know, a lot of the adults we have now, they will tell you respect. They keep shouting respect. And I asked someone, I said, do you know, if you want to say this 2-year-old or this 3-year-old doesn't have respect for me, my first question is, did you respect the child, or do you have respect for that child? Because that child is a human. So respect is reciprocal. And I think the reason why that word is very important is because when you're telling somebody, I'm not your mate, you don't talk to me like that. Do you know the person has the right to say, I am also not your mate? Like, you shouldn't even be talking to me like that.
Exactly.
Do you understand? But if the other side looks like it's an insult, while the other one looks like I'm older than you. But I just think that respect is reciprocal. If you respect someone, they will accord you the same respect. Now, it's not another ball game when you respect people and they don't respect you. Now, I don't know about that one. Maybe you just have to.
I'll tell you something for a fact today. Teenagers naturally don't like following rules. They don't like following. When you tell them to do that thing, they see it as, oh, you are commanding me. Now I don't want to do it. And trust me, they know how to frustrate people. They will come up in a day and be like, I want to frustrate this person. And they will do all sorts of things because they already know what gets you, what triggers you. They already know. So they want to do that. They want to frustrate you. It's now left for you. It's now left to you to, you know, find a way to make them do that thing. Find a way to do it. But if you are making it like, you must do this, that's when they don't want to do it. Even if they can, if they want to do it. Because you don't push us around. They don't like being pushed around. And it is okay to say please to them, like respect
Of course,
them.
yes, respectfully.
And before I just stop talking about this, I want us to understand that not all teenagers are same. They are different. You know how we have like 8 billion people in the world? They are different and unique in their own ways. What works for this person will not work for the person. There is no template. There is no manuscript you have written somewhere that this is how I always do with them. You learn as you work with them. So not just one thing works. And you try different things. You might try this one today, we fail, boomerang. Just take your L in peace and try something else.
I love it. Take your L in peace and try something else. I think I'm going to work with that. Take your L in peace and try something else. So let's try something else right now. I want to take another tip. We still have Habiba in the studio. We're still talking about dealing with teens and, of course, the confidence, the character, and obviously the what's the other part? The change. Yes. So yes, we're going to be right back. Let's quickly take on how to stop those intrusive thoughts. Is not just for teenagers, also for adults. Like she said, sometimes the experience, we know it better. True, we know it better, but if we allow them make their mistake, You understand? They will get over it. They know better and they'll be able to work. Like you said, experience is the best teacher. So sometimes they just need to make that little mistake, have that little fail, take that L and try again. So let's really take this tip on how to stop intrusive talk, and we'll be right back to continue the progress with us. Don't be why.
7 tips on how to stop intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts are unwanted and often distressing thoughts or images that can suddenly appear on your mind without any apparent reason. This thought can involve inappropriate, violent, or taboo subjects such as harming oneself or others, sexual acts, or blasphemous ideas. People experiencing these types of thoughts may worry that they might act on them or that there is something fundamentally wrong with them. However, it is essential to understand that these thoughts are common and do not usually indicate any intent to act on them. Tips on how to stop intrusive thoughts. Understand why intrusive thoughts disturb you. Intrusive thoughts often clash with your core values, making them particularly distressing. By reflecting on and understanding your core values, you can understand why specific thoughts trigger strong emotional reactions. Recognizing that these thoughts do not reflect your true self or intentions can help reduce their power over you, allowing for a more calm and rational response. Attend to the intrusive thoughts. It's essential to approach intrusive thoughts with a mindful and non-judgmental attitude rather than trying to decipher their meaning or avoid potential harm. Attempting to analyze or interpret these thoughts can inadvertently reinforce them. Instead, acknowledge the thoughts without giving them undue attention or power, recognizing them as transient and often meaningless mental events. Don't fear the thought. Avoid engaging in avoidance or suppression tactics while dealing with fear-based intrusive thoughts. Accept the thought's existence without judgment or resistance. Recognize that fear is a natural response, but do not associate the idea with data or reality. By allowing yourself to experience the thoughts without trying to escape it, you can diminish its power over your emotions. Stop changing your behaviors. Compulsive behaviors often arise to mitigate the discomfort caused by intrusive thoughts. Instead of altering your behaviors to align with this thought, challenge the need to respond compulsively. Resisting the urge to change your actions, you reclaim control over your behavior and reduce the influence of these thoughts on your life. Seeking support from a therapist can also help in developing healthier coping strategies. Take intrusive thoughts less personally. Recognize that these types of thoughts are natural parts of the human experience and do not define you or your intentions. Adopting a mindset of detachment can reduce the impact of these thoughts on your emotions. Remind yourself that everyone experiences intrusive thoughts to some degree which do not reflect your character or predict future actions. Try therapy. Therapy, particularly cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT), is highly effective for addressing intrusive thoughts. CBT helps individuals confront and manage their fears in a structured environment, focusing on identifying and releasing negative thought patterns. Additionally, experiential therapies such as exposure therapy can benefit those struggling with intrusive thoughts by gradually exposing them to feared situations in a controlled manner. Take medications. Medications can be a consideration for managing intrusive thoughts, particularly in cases where they are linked to conditions like obsessive-compulsive disorder. Medications that regulate neurotransmitters like serotonin, such as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, are commonly prescribed.
right, welcome back. You're still watching Women's Corner, and yes, those are ways to stop intrusive thoughts. If you're just joining us, well, you're welcome. We're talking about dealing with teenagers when it comes to their character, the change, and building their confidence. And of course, we have Habiba Madamosi in the studio. She is a life skill teacher. I have a question on that life skill teacher, but wait, first, let's ask our last question because of our time. Now, let's talk about the rebellious teenagers. Right now, we already know what it means to be rebellious, and trust me, those are more likely the children. They say they are the black sheep of the family, or you know, understand when you feel like that child is already a right of like, just leave him, leave her. That's we already know that's that. So how do you think parents should work with such a teenager, a rebellious teenager? Let me use that word, but I don't want to believe they are rebellious. I want to believe that they are misunderstood. So of course, because they are misunderstood, they're being called rebellious. So what should parents do at this point? And if they can't do it alone, if they feel that, oh, I can't do this, I can't face it, I can't go along with this, what do you think they should resort to help that child?
Thank you very much. You see, most times when we feel these children are rebellious, they are not. They are just expressing their frustration. That is how they know to do it. So I think I'll just advise you, understand before you correct them. Put yourself in their shoe. And then you cannot correct them except you connect. You connect to correct them. You understand? Connect, understand from their own point of view. Get where they are coming from. Listen to them. Listen to them. And now we still come back to, we listen, we don't judge. You listen to them. Tell them, why did you do this? What were you thinking? Like, why did you do this? If you try to make them feel they are bad, they act bad. They just believe, oh, this person already tagged me a rebellious child. Let me just leave up to that. So that's how they see. So you don't exactly tell them you are rebellious. Oh, no, this is not very good. You don't even call them difficult. I wanted to say that. But you don't just call them difficult. And just, like I said before, I said connect before you correct.
Right.
Yes, you need to have a relationship with them. And trust me, when they offend you, they always, go back to think in retrospect. And they realize. But your action afterwards too matters. If you close that door, they will not come back to let you know, oh, I've realized my mistake. So you always have to leave the door and then model forgiveness. You need to teach them how to forgive by forgiving them. Only when you do all these things, call them later. When you hit them with left hand, you pull them to you again with the right hand. So like that, we don't really call them rebellious. Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if let's say, for example, now there's a child who, every time is rebellious, sit down, no, stop, pressing your phone. I've told you, stay out of your whatever, trying to give order or give, and yet the child will always keep telling you, no, I am not going to do that sternly without damning the consequence that I'm going to be punished or I'm going to be grounded, however it is. Hey, at this young I feel like it's easier said than done.
It's easier said than done.
So,
really.
at this point, what do you think? Because I'm even explaining, I'm feeling frustrated already. Like, what do you want me to do? So, what do you think such parents should do?
It is not easy, really. It is not easy. They always come like that. Just be prepared. Like I said, there's no templates for how you go about it. But just pray for wisdom. In that aspect, whatever happens, just pray for. But always understand them. Always understand them. And then, most importantly, pray for them all the time.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. I want to say African mothers will take them for deliverance.
Yeah.
They say there's a demon or something battling with
So
the
something
child.
works for me, actually. Like, I befriend them.
Okay.
I befriend them. I listen to them. I let them say all sorts of things they want to say. Not the bad ones, of course. I've shut them up a lot.
Yeah.
Not exactly, but like, why are you saying this now? You're not, like that. But then I befriend them. And when they offend me, it's not like they don't offend me. They show me pepper too. But like, if you let them know, oh, I have a kind of relationship with you, you shouldn't mess it up with this attitude. They realize they don't want to miss out on that friendship you have with them. So most times they always call themselves back to order. Yes.
So have you had any who was always acting rebellious, be it a girl or a boy, and that eventually over time changed because you were connecting to them before correcting them?
All the time. A lot of them.
This is testimony time.
Yes, but the thing is, you need to see. And you're not just saying, you are making comments on that. Oh, yesterday you passed, you did not greet me. But today you are greeting me. Thank you. Wait, don't greet me tomorrow. Let me be the first person to greet you. You know, like you're giving them reward. You are noticing those little things. They want them, they like attention. That's just the thing. If they don't get it doing good things, they want to get the attention doing bad things to just get the attention. So you always tell them, oh, I see you. You are there. I see you. I commend you. I notice what you've been doing. And if they are doing bad things, they don't want you to see that bad thing again. So you are seeing that good part. They want to keep that. So that's it.
I love this. Probably I should be a life skill teacher. Anyway, so tell me, what is a life skill teacher? And I'm sure like this, your school is like the first school to actually start that as a subject.
As a subject.
Yeah. Yes. So please tell me, what is the life skill teaching about?
Okay. So we see there are a lot of challenges out there. Let me start by saying, if you're looking for students who will get straight A's, maybe in their WAEC or A-star in other exams, you'll find that there are a lot of them. If you're looking for people with 9 A's, you find thousands of them. But we need something that will distinguish them. You come with the academics, but it's not enough. You need to be well raised. You need to be well brought up. You need to be given all these basic life skills like problem solving, critical thinking. Like in life skills in my school, I'm a life skill teacher. I teach SS1 and SS2 students. But like we give them topics. Of course, they are contemporary topics for them to make presentation about PowerPoint presentation. They come to the front of the class. They do it, just as in official settings. They talk about this topic. They educate their classmates, come up with activities they will do with them, That will give them confidence. And then we give them essays on, sweet topics too, for them to express themselves, to ask them questions. Like the last essay, I said, write a letter to yourself in your younger days. You're writing a letter to 6 years old you. You're telling him or her what has happened over time and how to navigate through those challenges. You're giving them that kind of thought-provoking topics and they're expressing themselves and you'll be amazed by their write-up. You'll be amazed. You will read them. You'll be happy for them. Because they write a lot of things and they don't get to tell you these things, but when they put them down in writing, yes, and we take them out for community service too. Where they go to help people. Okay,
that's part of the life skill too.
Yes, that's part of you. You earn points as you do all these things. You get marks. Yes, it's there in their result. So like you take them out. The other day they went to teach in primary school. You're in SS1, student teaching other students. You're teaching students of primary school, primary 5, primary 6. You're teaching them maths. You're teaching them math tricks. You're teaching them how to understand English better. You've passed that stage. You pick 1 or 2 things, you pass it down to them. They've gone to old people's home. They've gone to juvenile correctional facility for boys, for girls. They've gone to a lot of places. So these are things you don't learn in just ordinary class.
Yes, you have to go to school.
Yes, you have to go out there. It teaches you empathy. It teaches you resilience. You're seeing the world from a different view. So it's just character building and uplifting moral values. Everything we do. So that's life
beautiful.
skills.
Sorry, what's the name of the school?
Bryston College, Agidingbi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I think this course or this subject is something that other schools should try to put. Yeah, because I feel like it will prepare them for the outside world.
Exactly. Right? They are going into higher institution. They need to be prepared because life is way more challenging. My students will not come back and say adulthood now scam because they are well prepared
already. Yes, trust me. Even though sometimes I still say adulthood now scam, but well, I'm kidding. But actually, if they get prepared, trust me, I think when they come out to the world, and they stand alone, there'll be a very big difference. Yes. Because I think for that kind of subject, they would be able to get into school and probably be the head of the department because they're already outspoken. Yes. They know they have this emotional intelligence. Yes. Do you understand? They can build character with people and people can always just flow with it. Just find out that why does she have so much friends? Why should she have people always around her or around him? Not knowing there was something that was built, foundation being laid. So that's amazing, and kudos to being one of the amazing people.
Exactly, you don't have to go to school to be a life skill teacher. Just learn from experience and befriend them. Very important.
Thank you very, very much. This was so educating and very informative. I must say thank you so much, Abiba, for coming. And yes, I'm going to appreciate your school also for giving you the time to be able to come here and educates parents and teachers also. So we really do appreciate you. From all of us, Galaxy TV, we'll say thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. And I like how you approached me that day.
Right?
You're awesome.
Oh, thank you. So anyways, I don't know if do you have anything more to say, or you're just cool with everything that you've said? Any last words?
Yes, please befriend teenagers. Forget about the age difference. Befriend them. They need you. You don't let them go and learn from strangers, especially on the internet. They get all sorts of friendship from there, and that one you cannot control. So have time for them. Put down your phones. Just take a break from work and befriend them. Listen to them. Hear them. Don't let them go and pick all these things from strangers, you know. And they can get in trouble for that.
Yes, they can.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the program.
Sure, I do. I do.
Okay, well, we've come to the end of today's program where we've talked about dealing with teenagers, building their confidence, building their character, and of course, when the change comes, how do you deal with them? Like they said, she's a life skills teacher. Don't call them rebellious. Don't even call them difficult. It's just a phase. They just need to express their frustration. And if you give them listening ears, she said one thing. Okay, two things actually. She said, take your L in peace and, you know, how did you put it?
Move on.
And move on. Take your L in peace, which is if you lose, just take it in peace and move on. And also, before you correct, you have to connect first. So there's a connection before you can correct. Trust me, I've heard that a lot of times, that if you want to deal with these Gen Z, the teenagers, you have to
behave
first,
like
you
them.
have to behave like them. You have
Learn
to get
their
close
slangs.
to them. Exactly.
Learn their slangs.
Go close
Dress
to
like
them.
them if possible. Let them teach you new things. There are a lot of things I've learned from them.
Yeah.
New slang. They just come to school and start, oh, steez, this. Where would I get that from? We didn't use those vocabulary.
We didn't use them at all.
But
We
from
didn't.
them, they tell me, oh, do you know the meaning of steez? And the next time you use it, they'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
you know, they are
involved.
happy, they are connected.
Anyway, so get the connection before you can correct any teenager. That is the best way for them to be corrected or to be instructed or to become better. At this point, we'll call it a wrap.